We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. And we've had a lot of positive shifts this week as we have shifted into Pisces season, and we're getting ready for that Virgo full moon. It's all about purifying your life. This is like a huge theme coming up for twin flames as well too. You guys are going to be connecting on the higher, being reminded that twin flame is a spiritual connection that is always with you, whether you're in union or when you're in separation. But we're going to talk about some of these things and kind of do a reading. But those in separation are feeling hard feelings for each other. There might be some type of negativity blocking this connection. And we're going to talk a little bit about the divine feminine, divine masculine side of things as well too, and just do a general read to see what is going on. But this is also about cleaning up your life right now. And we're going to go ahead and do a nice little reading. We'll start with the divine feminine. All about healing your heart chakra, still coming up for the divine feminine, especially if you're in a separation. You're going to be having old wounds and separation pains coming up. Self-care, time to get your glow up, to really take care of yourself no matter what your situation. Remember, this is a general read. That's why I always say make sure you guys are doing the readings on my website. You can do them as often as you need them, the sessions that I have, and they're going to help you a ton with shifting things each session. So make sure you're booking a twin flame reading on my website if you are in a twin flame situation. I also do twin flame healings, activations. You want to do the energy work. It's going to help you a ton. Many of you guys are carrying around a high level of trauma, inner child trauma, and even relationship trauma that may be affecting your twin flame union or coming up as blocks in the connection. Make sure you guys are doing the energy work on my website. I also do twin flame coaching. It will help you to move through the process as well too, because it's going to bring up so many layers of purging and healing on the way. Great for shifting into union. If you're in separation, I always recommend doing the twin flame coaching. But let's go ahead and we're going to start with the divine feminine. I feel like I abandoned you and myself when we broke up. I want to reconcile. There is a separation energy. Divine feminine feels hurt, and this is like a thing. And well, I'm not going to get too into it, but divine feminine feels the masculine has let her down, showed up for everyone but her, made themselves available or for other people but unavailable for her. And it could be just the energy of it as well too. And then this is like the breakup energy of being done, and this being an extreme breakup when you break up with your twin flame. This is why it can be very tumultuous, the relationship as well too, because something always is trying to pull you back at times. So when you're in the separation, it's not like your usual karmic breakup where you can just go and be like, okay, it didn't work out. There's always something in the background where this person's coming into your mind, your dreams, you're connecting with them telepathically. You can't quite let go of this connection. You're being guided not to, but you're being guided to let go of it at the same time and to heal certain things. So that can make it extremely challenging. There's a lot of hurt in the connection for those in separation. Could be things that happened, old patterns. We're going to get into that on this reading as well too. So divine feminine is hurt by things that happened on the divine masculine side, but wants to be with this person underneath it all. And that could be part of the pain, because you know that you came to earth to do twin flame union and you had this picture in your mind of this beautiful life together, and it probably didn't go that way. And instead you get left with a lot of shadow layers to move through, healing heart chakra pain and wounding and relationship wounds from this connection oftentimes as well too. So many of the divine feminine feel that the divine masculine isn't doing the work. This isn't for everyone, but this is the divine feminine side of it. The masculine isn't doing the work, and that they're going back to old patterns or playing out old patterns or karmic patterns even with them or have within the connection. And this is very disappointing for the divine feminine as well too. And this is kind of pulling the divine feminines that have awakened. This is for the awakened feminines. It's kind of pulling them back as well too into a lot of pain and things that the divine masculine might have played out on them as well too. And this is like the separation pain of it as well too. So many of the divine feminines are feeling that heavily, wanting to be with this person, but things have happened within the connection, and also feeling very disappointed. This is like the breakup separation energy for those of you guys that are not with your twin flame currently. Would I be rejected if I contacted you? Do you still want me? And this is some of you guys are feeling rejected. There's a lot of blocking, ghosting, and I always love it because the person never will leave your life completely. Like with the karmics, it's just blocked and over. And with the twin flames, right, they can't come near you. They're avoidant, but they're still watching your social media sometimes, right? Or like watching your stuff, or they're there in some way in the background and energetically. And a lot of you guys feel that with the twin flame, but you feel rejected, that they actually didn't want to be with you, and that they have made it clear some of you guys, and this is a big question, can your twin flame hurt you? Yes, they absolutely can play out old patterns. Yes, there are twin flames that will ghost you, cheat on you, be with other karmics and other dynamics. And this is hard for people to wrap their head around because they think it's going to be the fairy tale twin flame union. But that's going to take both people being aware of their patterns and healing to a certain point. And unfortunately, sometimes we see that people are not aware of the connection, or they're not treating it as they should. And this stuff can happen. And, some of you guys are awakened and aware of the connection. Some of your partners are, or they aren't. It just kind of depends on where you're at with it. So we do have this energy of your DM, your divine masculine, has rejected you and abandoned you in some type of way. And, this could be because of avoidant tendencies. Yes, a lot of guys have more of this kind of patterns. Some of your DMs may have even narcissistic traits that they've played out on you that come out with their shadow and their wounding at times and things like that have impacted and affected you. But regardless, you're left in this energy of, whether they're ignoring you when you have reached out, or they're not reaching out to you, or you're scared to reach out to them at this point. I see a group of DFs that are like that as well too. Not sure if they should reach out because they've been rejected in the past, or this person may have made it clear they're not ready to be with you. They don't want to be with you. They might be with other people. And this is the epiphany of running too, where they're really comfortable, entertaining others, even some in relationships with others. Sometimes when you meet your twin flame, they could be married or in other situations, or, back and forth with it as well too. So there is this energy of being rejected that has triggered deeper wounds. If you have been through things in your childhood, if you've been through death or loss of a loved one, this will impact you even more, and it will trigger and bring more to the surface as well too. And I really feel that on the divine feminine side, we go through different things. You're being guided to get ready, get used to being by yourself more, unfortunately, if you're not in this union and you're not in this connection. So the divine masculines, they easily can go hook up with other people and hang out with other people and whatever it is, because they always need this emotional validation. They're the first to turn to other women, right, and start to complain about you, or and maybe take it a step further and even have sex with these people. But for the divine feminine, it feels like you get put in that hermit energy, and this Virgo moon is all about the hermit energy, and you're by yourself and you're left with this connection where it's like, am I with this person or not? And for when you're not with this person, and you can easily tap into what's going on their side, it can trigger a lot of rejection wounds and things like that, but it can trigger deeper issues and things like that within yourself. And these kind of layers, whether it's depression, loneliness, grief, that has come to the surface, because oftentimes when you are in a twin flame separation, it kicks up a lot of things. I feel the separations happen when one isn't or hasn't done the work as well too. So this is important too. You might be at different levels when you met the twin flame. You might have really cleaned up your life and they haven't. I still feel connected to you, but I've waited too long to reach out. Is it too late for us? So divine feminine has the masculine on your mind, and you're kind of wondering what is going on with you guys. Is this over? But not feeling like it is as well too. This energy has come up that you've given up on a lot of this, but you haven't at the same time, because you are aware that this is your twin flame. This is a spiritual connection. This is also existing in the higher. So even if you're not with them in the 3D, there's enough signs, messages, and communication in the higher that you're definitely feeling it. You were my home, and now I feel like I'm out in the cold. And this is like left out in the cold, once again, abandoned, not with this person. And so it just kind of depends on what is going on in the physical level too. But I always talk about union as being beautiful and bliss. And when you're in separation, it's very painful. It's depression, right? And things like that. And it can trigger a lot as well too. And this is like, you probably felt like this person was the one in some level in home, and it just kind of depends on their end. But oftentimes when doing this reading, it's coming up that the divine masculine was fearful, and that they might have sabotaged things. They might have, done the runner and things like that. So what happens is we might even have runner-chaser dynamics, and the chaser becomes the fire energy and the runner the water, the ice, right? And it's like that. And so it's like, they're in the world of illusion, and oftentimes, not to pick, but oftentimes divine masculine is much more in the matrix and concerned with money and, their stuff going on. And if they're in this world of illusions, the divine feminine is like a fire energy that probably will point out things, burn down their illusions, and see things very clearly, especially the more advanced it is, because you're not there to leave them asleep in this world of illusion. And if you're much more awakened than them, the masculine may have areas that they need to wake up and they need to see more, or they need to integrate more. They might need to come into higher frequencies. So we do have this fire and ice energy that is playing out, and this could even match up with your astrology. It just kind of depends, or just the energy of it as well too. And this is where it gets too intense. And I always say divine feminine needs to pull back her energy and to really focus on yourself, regardless of what is going to happen. But oftentimes this is a connection of God where you're destined to be together. So even if, God forbid, the other person doesn't want it, or they're trying to date other people, oftentimes they just end up, hurt or in misfortune or negative energies from it. And we call these karmic energies, right? And so there's a karmic clearing that is happening. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's going to transition us into Aries, and we're going to start a new astrological year. But it's also a very karmic energy, and it helps us to deal with karmic loose ends as well too. So we have a whole declutter your life, get organized, clear up those karmics, and get rid of these things kind of themes coming up right now. I knew you were right, but couldn't admit it to myself or to you. This is like ego wounds as well too. Now we're dealing with Chiron in Aries and the North Node energy right now, and this is your deeper core wounds. These are your soul wounds. You share a soul with your twin flame, and while you may have separate ends of that karmic baggage, it's all one and the same to clear. This is why oftentimes in twin flame relationships, there's like a push to clear the karma on either side. Whether they see that you're in these connections that are bad for you, they might try to tell you to clean up certain connections, and vice versa, because you're sharing that karmic debt and that baggage, and that's exactly what you came here to do. But you also share these core soul wounds, and so when things are said and when it gets arguments or things like that, this is why it really cuts your core wounds, and with your twin flame as well too, because you share these same soul wounds. And oftentimes you share a lot of those Chiron wounds, which are deeper wounds that go into past lifetimes. I'm going to do a past life reading in these cards as well too, to see what is going on with these deeper underlying issues that may even come from past lifetimes with you and your twin flame, because this is a twin flame reading as well too, and you share these core same wounds as well too. With my twin flame, I share the exact same Chiron sign. We don't have a lot in common astrologically, but we have our Libra sign is, our Saturn sign is both in Libra. It's one and the same. We're working through, we'll say, karmic relationship lessons in this lifetime, and a lot of relationship wounding. Our Chiron is both in Taurus, and that is also my sun sign. Theirs is in my sun sign as well too. And then we have the same core wound around money, the material, and home as well too. So you might notice a lot of similarities in some of your astrology with your twin flame. This is one way that we can also tell, is this truly your twin flame, with the connection? But you're going to have a deep knowing about this person, and it's going to be very hard to release them and let them go. And you're going to have to release them and let them go, probably even maybe several times, to purge out some of the attachments that come up too around the connection. All right, we're going to do the cards that I made too in this reading. You are my past and my future. This is exactly why we're going to go into the past lives today too, because you had so many past lifetimes with this person. I was kind of joking around to myself and saying, oh, this is why we can't remember them, right? And things like that. But actually, when you come together, when you're meeting anew, it's a chance to heal the past through healing where you're at now. Don't get so hung up on the future. We're in this quantum state now. It's all about where you're at now too. I close my eyes and feel your energy around you. I'm with you all of the time. You're always going to sense this person. And it does drive people mad, right? Like, you're always going to feel them. Like, you could be completely, I'm tuning this out, or they are you. And you feel them. You sense them. You might even, I said smell them. I was smelling this, whatever, cologne that my twin flame had, and I had it in a drawer somewhere, but there was no excuse for that. And I was thinking that it must be them around me in the higher, because I suddenly was smelling this everywhere a couple of times within a couple of days. And so some of you guys, you know, when you're connecting with the other side, you have these spirit signs that come through in different ways as well too. You might feel them, you might get telepathic messages, you might think you're talking to yourself, talking to them in your head, but you're actually sending messages back and forth all of the time. I feel bad about how things went. I wish I could turn the clock back and do things differently. And the clock is also the divine as well too, that we can't control these things. I was taught recently that God plays out every script and narrative in your life. And I'm like, this is why when you go into separation, it's a test of the spiritual connection and the faith as well too, because you might feel that when you disconnect on that level, you know, that you feel that disconnection and that soul split all over again that we feel coming to earth. And this is where a lot of our childhood trauma comes from, and wounding and things like that. And you really feel that deeply as well too, because you're so connected on the spiritual. When you guys are just together in that love bubble, it's like oneness of the soul. And when you literally separate, it is to split those aspects. This is why we're always saying we're looking for our other half, literally. And it's all that this place is about, to come into this union with your other half as well too. So it just kind of depends on where you're at with this. The mirroring of what I was being shown just got too intense. It is a mirror, but there's also, and it's hard to grasp because I'm always studying reality and the mirror, and there's a certain mirroring that happens, but there are things that can play out on either side, because both are humans and both have their own, we'll say, patterning and encoding and things like that, that will, when you come together, it may interact differently too, because we have two separate people with their own wounding and patterns and even problems, if you want to go there. And then we kind of take it all together. And this is why, you know, there is a certain level of mirroring, because they are going to reflect your energy state. That is true. That is assured. So when you're raising up your frequency, you're going to meet them in the higher realms. When you're in the lower states, they go into separation. They're gone. If you didn't notice from half of your life on earth, you go into these higher states, they can reappear. They'll be with you. They could come back into your timeline in the higher timelines. They will disappear in the lower. So just know that. I've seen glimpses of our future together, and this can be why it's so hard to wrap your head around twin flame as well too, because you have it in your head, you know, I'm supposed to be in this beautiful union, but it's not happening. This person is ripping open my wounds and has hurt me more than anyone else in my life. A lot of people will tell you on twin flame journey, despite what narrative has played out. And I always kind of say, because I've been saying this to my twin flame, they told me they were going to ruin me when they came into my life. And I had to Google that. And it's like destroy, right? It's like literally to damage, to destroy. And a lot of you guys might feel that on the feminine side, that this person came into your life and says they were going to love you and do all this stuff with you. But in reality, right, like they just, you know, they found out your wounds so they can trigger them more or like hurt you in some type of way. And this is hard for you to wrap your head around, because a lot of times you're holding on to these union timelines in the background. Like, what is wrong with this person? We should be doing love bubble, right, and staying there. And it's nice there. And when your divine masculine goes, you can go back to that love bubble in 5D by yourself. But you would prefer to do it with your twin flame. It would feel a lot nicer, right? And a lot of you guys have been doing that work to raise up into the spiritual, and you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. So it can be hard to wrap your head around, because this is a multi-dimensional experience. But it's important regardless that you're working on your energy, you're eating better food, you're detoxing, you're doing energy healing, and you're clearing what is coming up. And this is why I always say do the healing sessions. You're going to need them to release blocks and things that have been kind of in your system unconsciously. Most of the healing we're going to do is energetic and unconsciously. Very few times can we pinpoint it with our thoughts. It's usually just our energy of how things go as well too. So make sure you're taking care of your energy a little bit extra. All right, we have a lot of beliefs that are affecting your love life. This is the crown chakra and clearing out the old beliefs. We're in the 5D, but it'll take people a little while to get rid of the 3D, right? Like we're there, but a lot of people aren't realizing that. Like someone was like said something about I'll see you on the other side. I'm like, we're on the other side in the 5D already. Like, right? Okay, we're going through some shifts and changes, but it might take you a little while to wake up or awaken fully as well too. So this is crown chakra and clearing the negative beliefs that are blocking your union, but there has been some deception as well too. This is simply your twin flame's ego though, and I've realized that in those awful points. It's the shadow, it's the ego, and it's the pain and the wounding and the fear that makes up this as well too. So there is some type of, you know, your twin flame has hurt you with their ego, whatever's happened, and it could be just patterns. They've probably been doing this stuff forever, I said, right? They've been living their life like that forever with no care about it, and they didn't really notice until you came along, because Divine Feminine, you are here as an awakener. You are here to shift into your highest frequency and to awaken other people to their power, or how to shift into the 5D too. So if your twin flame is still unawakened in some aspects, living in the 3D, or acting out wounding, patterning, narcissistic traits, these things are going to have to come out too. So some of you guys have shown your twin flame whether, you know, how to do the work yourself by doing it, or you've shown them their patterns. All right, this is meant to be that twin flame union. We have nice cards about union. And for some people, if you're in separation, this will require healing how you feel about your twin flame, and shifting into that inner union once again as well too, because this is new love card. And this is like, you know, it can be new beginning with your twin flame. Some of you guys might move on and have other stuff come up. It depends on your karmic baggage or what you have to heal or to sort out in this lifetime. Now I want to go into... We're going to go into some also past life stuff in a minute. Hold on. But I want to do a couple more cards too. We have the moon card as well too. This is perfect for Pisces energy. And Pisces is ruled by the moon card as well too. So is Cancer and some of the other signs as well too. But it's also bringing the shadows to the surface. This is shadow work. And this is like whether your twin flame has pulled you back, brought out nasty aspects or unhealed aspects where you're in pain or that you're hurt over this situation. Some things need to come to the light. This is revealing your inner fears, but it's a huge clearing of negative energies that's happening. You're going through a lot of energy surfacing. This is why you might need to keep doing energy clearings when you guys are in these spaces of separation. If you're crying in pain, let it out, but also do the energy clearing so you're not staying stuck or sitting in negative energy. So you're being guided to clear your energy more. This is going to help unblock your intuition and to awaken you more so that you're feeling better and can come back into this union on some type of level. All right, so we have the Judgment in reverse, and sometimes it could be the Archangel energy as well too. This is fear, something that is asleep in you, refusing to learn karmic lessons. You could be bringing karmic lessons of the past up again, and this is important because a lot of these things come from past lifetimes. I know that about my deeper core stuff too, that it's way past this lifetime. I already was dealing with the same things I'm healing now when I was 5 years old, because it came from my last lifetime as well too. So yes, we can carry past trauma with us into past lifetimes. Our childhood is from our past trauma, from past lives. So this is also clearing karmic lessons. I'm going to talk about that more on the guy side, but important that you're clearing karmic energies in your life. These are the people that were karmic to you in some type of way. We have the Empress in reverse. This person may be blocking your feminine side. And this is what happens when we have a whole generation of guys that are no longer providing, no longer doing the masculine job, right? And I'm not trying to pick, but then this is where we see the entrepreneurial female boss babe going to work all the time, even while raising children. And we see the imbalances of it as the feminine are stepping up more into the masculine energy to make up for this. Because if you're lacking one or the other, so we see a lot of these men that have been single for a long time shifting too into the feminine. And we see a lot of these women that have been single without a guy for too long, too in the masculine role of I'll take care of myself now, I don't need anyone, right? As well too. So this is also needing to shift back into the feminine energy so that you can tap in to receive more love, and that you can tap in to receive more abundance in your life as well too. You're being guided to shift into your feminine energies. They are powerful, and they are powerful for attracting your twin flame to you. When you're in the masculine, you repel. When you're in the feminine, they come right to you. Two of Wands, being indecisive and fearing change, the unknown. Things are being shaken up in your life, and this is like things are being shaken up to encourage you to grow and to make changes in your life. That's what this should do. It should light a fire in your life, the flame energy, to make some changes, whether finally healing yourself, clearing toxicity, clearing limiting beliefs. This is also canceled trip energy. like if you guys are supposed to go somewhere and it's not happening. And we have the guy in the hermit energy on the other side of this card too, right? So it could be your masculine didn't show up for you in some type of way and that you were going to do something. And this is like travel, but it's spiritual travel. So you might have thought you were going to take this spiritual journey with your divine masculine, and they may have not showed up for you in some type of way. They may have canceled plans. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands. Sudden action and lots of communication, fast movement, swift movement after a delay. And this is coming back together. So if you guys are getting ghosted, no communication, blocked, things are going to open up. So we have this Virgo full moon, which is ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication and how we communicate. Unblock your own throat chakra. If you want to get your twin flame to stop running, work on your own throat chakra. If you feel they're not giving you enough, they're not reaching out, they're avoidant, they're runner, make sure you're healing your own throat chakra, divine feminine, to shift some of this stuff. Heal your own energy. It will open up communication. I had so many people tell me that they did sessions with me and immediately their twin flame will, out of the blue, reach out to them, because you found when you're chasing, it doesn't work. They have to come to you when ready. The more ready you are, the more ready they will be. All right, so we have things in your past. We're going into the past lives, divine feminine. Some of you guys want to have children. Maybe some of you guys already have children and this is affecting you, as these are deep karmic contracts, and it's very important work that you're doing. It's the only important thing that you're doing on planet Earth. If you're raising children, that you're doing a better job, that work will follow you through several lifetimes. If you do a bad job, welcome to your next childhood, right? And things like that. So you're seeing, oh my God, we're clearing intergenerational trauma. Hopefully you're aware of your own childhood trauma, of how it impacted you, and you're doing a better job. Some of you want to have a child with your twin flame, and that if you guys didn't have kids yet and you want to, it could be with your twin flame. So we see a lot of people that don't have kids at all, that they were shielded karmically. And this is something I know about my own life, that some of you guys may have tried with other people and it didn't work out, or maybe you didn't and you weren't ready and you knew not to have kids with the karmics, and that you have waited to have kids, some of you, with your twin flame, because it's something that you very much desired and wanted to have as well too. So some of you guys like thought you would have a kid with your twin flame, or you want to, and this is like part of it as well too. And this is from past lifetimes and some of the things that were planned out. Some of you guys that are starseeds have been shielded from some of the karmic things like that. If you haven't had children yet, you're only meant to have children with your twin flame. Tapping into your elemental past lives. This is like your fairy side, right? Get outside, connect with nature more. This will help to bring back Lemurian past lives, elemental, and even angelic past lives. This is your angelic past lifetimes. I talk about this as a ton, that we weren't always humans and that we come from the heavens. And that's why you have such a strong connection with your angels, and that you can channel the angels as well too from your past lifetimes. There are angels incarnate here on earth as well too, just as there are galactic souls, and some of you guys have that strong angelic connection. Work with your angels right now. You're going to notice a lot of angel numbers, and they're going to come through when the angels are trying to get your attention as well too. Some of these are SOS calls from your twin flame, or you and your twin flame are seeing the same angel number at the same time. You're getting those kind of messages. So pay attention to the angel numbers coming. You were a powerful healer in past lifetimes. This is how I draw people to me too as well too. You are a powerful healer. You hold that medicine. Virgo, full moon is the sign of the goddess. I can't wait. I'm loving this week's energy, right? This is like you did that separation, and you had to go into that deep states and layers of separation so that you could find the goddess within divine feminine, I keep saying. But Virgo is also not just the virgin and the maiden, it is the medicine woman and the healer of the zodiac. So this week is bringing up a lot of healing energies as well too. No matter how they're going to look in your specific situation, it's about getting that medicine that you need to heal yourself. You can use this to learn how to heal and things like that. All right, we're going to do a nice reading for the divine masculine. Now, divine masculine has a lot of karmic attachments. This can come up as legal problems, still being married, needing a divorce, are just having a lot of people that they slept with, hooked up with, or want to sleep with and hook up with on their Facebook or social media or whatever. I just say Facebook because I'm on there more, but it could be different platforms where you guys have a lot of women around that are actual people you want to have sex with, or actually people even worse that you had sex with and you kept around and that have gotten in the way, blocking your union. And this is important too because we're being guided to declutter things with our entire lifetime right now. And so these are karmic hooks. And when you're full of attachments, each one an attachment is going to cause a lot of problems. And it's just for ego, or maybe you think that you want to be, I guess it's just the only reason someone would do that is because they're keeping their options open to get back with this person. So we do have a lot of divine masculines with a lot of unresolved karma with their karmic feminines, because if you needed to keep them around on your social media and see them every day, there's something unresolved there. So we have a lot of karmic attachments that are coming up. These can be caused by alcohol, cigarettes, negative habits. Usually our parents are very karmic connections, different things like that. It depends on each dynamic, but that's the theme right now coming up with this Virgo full moon for the divine masculines, is to kind of clean up and declutter things, especially because it's about your energy, and these things are keeping you connected to those old timelines that you traveled through and needing to raise up into 5D. So reading for the divine masculine. Always take these as messages from the divine masculine to divine feminine. I'm still trying to find a place for myself in the world. This could be you didn't make much of your life because spiritual awakening was calling you. And I always say that everything in your life will implode until you get to the union timelines with your divine feminine. So if you don't know why you've been going round and round, haven't really been getting anywhere, it's because you're supposed to start your life brand new in union with your twin flame, and everything else is going to burn, literally. And that when you come together in union, this is where everything starts to happen for you, and the success and everything you've envisioned. And it didn't happen by yourself for a reason as well too. I wonder if you still think about me. How do you feel about me now that you've had time to reflect? And they're confused. Divine masculine is in their head, and they're wondering how you feel about them as well too, and that they want that maybe if there's a separation, they're hoping that you have time to reflect and change your heart or change your mind as well too. Just kind of depends. But divine masculine, as much as they're hiding their feelings, they are thinking about you a ton. The thought of you with someone else drives me crazy. And we know this from separating and coming to earth, that if you're not with your twin flame, they most certainly will end up with someone else, because we have karmic lessons and experiences that we need to learn on a spiritual level, and we learn through connection, we learn through relationships. So divine masculine knows that if they're not stepping up to be with you, that someone else will come into the picture, and the thought of this is driving them crazy. And this is like putting pressure on them, because they know that they need to be with you or someone else will be too. And this is their thoughts. They think that in separation, if they're not talking to you, that you're probably talking to other people, divine feminine, and things like that. I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. So they are in love with you. I always say that's the biggest mask of all, acting like they don't care, with the divine masculine. They are so in love with you. They have to take action on their own and be ready though. And this is something that, maybe they're having issues with it. A lot of these masculines, I always say, avoidant is just commitment issues, literally. It's fear of commitment. It's like wanting your freedom, wanting to be single, wanting your cake and to eat it too, right? And then you can't have that with union, right? So they're needing to take action and to make something happen on their end with something. And so this means that the blocks could be some of them on the divine masculine side that they're working on clearing. I should have believed in you. You always had my best interest at my heart. And this is important too, because I know that a lot of divine masculines are needing to open up and feel their feelings and to learn how to express them. And that divine feminine might have felt the masculine was cold and closed off, but the divine feminine was nothing like that to start with. The divine masculine, they were open, they were warm, they were empathic, and they were caring greatly about what they were going through on their side too. So we have clearing and unblocking emotions for the masculine. The separation is because you started to treat me like a karmic partner. And so this is divine masculine feels that you were treating them in a karmic way. And twin flames do carry karmic and karmic patterns and things like that. So they might not have liked things that were happening on the divine feminine end with it. Our souls speak the same language that only you and I get. This is like when you try to talk to other people and you realize that it's like, I don't want to say speaking Muggle, I always say speaking Muggle, but with your twin flame, you easily resonate with them. You can tell them anything and you understand each other on a soul frequency and you speak the same soul language. And when you're trying to interact with other people, you're going to find it's just not hidden the same. It's not the same. And so your divine masculine is missing talking to you. Have faith in the universe. This is bigger than both of us at the moment, and it is bigger than both of you as well too. And I always feel these separations are also staged by the universe at different times, and as they can be past your control, or they can play out as needed. And we'll say why do we go into states of separation? To attain higher levels of consciousness. It kind of depends on where the flame is at and if they're doing the work. I wish we could go back and start over. Divine masculine is living in the past. We already talked about that. Needing to clean out their karmic past, but also living in the past with you and how things were. So if you're in a separation, they'll be replaying the good times. The separation is for you to heal. So needing to use this separation to heal certain things and to heal certain patterns. I always say use this Virgo full moon to clean up your life. I came to earth just to be with you. And at some point, this is an awakening that needs to happen with the masculine so that they can fully recognize this connection and shift into it too. So we have, there is a strong attraction that has happened with this person. Like right off the bat, you guys were like real fast with it. Maybe you come together. Maybe you had a deep knowing right when you met. Maybe spirit guided you together. But there's a strong attraction with this person. And right off the bat, it's also kind of what makes you stick to each other and why you have a hard time releasing this thing. But there's been something that happened where there wasn't enough attraction or chemistry to keep this connection going, and that there's a very unrequited love, whether twin flames can face obstacles in being together, where a lot of times you have different lessons you're doing, distance, right, separation, living in other places. It could be all sorts of things that twin flames face, age obstacles, society obstacles. Some of you guys are married when you met. There's reasons why for some in separation that you couldn't be together or be together yet. All right, you have financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, money. And if your focus is on the material and money, you're going to be kind of not doing great with this. You need to put your focus on the spiritual and this spiritual connection. And this is divine masculine, needing to open up and share your feelings and have heart-to-heart conversations with this person. You need to tell them how you feel. Maybe you've been shutting them out, blocking them out, keyword blocking, and you're needing to tell them how you really feel. Divine masculine is in this energy of upside down, where you gave up too soon, where your manifestations were going to come through, but you've made a change of plans, that you've changed the timelines. I say maybe you've shifted your timeline away from union yourself. And that this is something with, you know, you've made these shifts that have taken you off of your union timelines, and maybe you've thrown in the towel. We have your divine feminine coming in the reading. Two of Swords, they're lost without you. They can't see things clearly. They're at a crossroads and needing to make a decision with all this. They're torn between the separation and going on to do their own path, and between the union and wanting it, and like everything kind of going on too. And this is emotions coming up that have been blocked for a long time. You have negative outside influences that have affected this connection though too. This could be outside energies. We talked about karmic attachments and things that have thrown off this union. And this is other people generally. It could be people talking in your ear that you were listening to, friends, family, you know, romantic interests and things like that that didn't have your best interest at heart. And this is like the karmic attachment card once again too. So you have karmic attachments of the past. This is codependency, where you've been codependent with some of, like, whether it's your parents. And when you have a codependent connection, this is where the depression, the addiction comes in, the trauma, and the issues in relationships. But some of you guys, this is your relationships of the past, and it was codependent, and you've kept some of these partners around we talked about because you have karmic attachments that have thrown off this union in some type of way. Just be mindful of that, of outside energies. We have the divine masculine is in the energy of despair, fear, and anxiety, worrying. They're in their head, they're stressed out, they're not sleeping. You know, all they can do is focus on you, even if you don't think it divine feminine, but they're in this very heavy energy without you, because you are their light. The divine feminine is the masculine's light. And when you take that away and they try to go back to the old, right, you've outgrown the old, you're not able to. So there is a crumbling that is happening. This is King of Cups, and this is, I love it because it's a beautiful card, and this is your true self, Divine Masculine, where you're meant to be in this energy of love. You're meant to be empathic and caring, but negative emotions may be blocking up some of your gifts and your connection that are coming up. Pay attention to clearing the negative thoughts, negative energies around this situation. All right, so we have past lives for the masculine. All right, you simple life. We got simple life. Some of you guys did a beautiful simple life with your, because this is a twin flame reading, with your twin flame, where you very much lived in the country. So if you've been desiring that, right, it's like around what you want in your life, this is why. But we've also had, once again, this is the second time the unrequited love has come up in this reading for your divine feminine, divine masculine reading for twin flames, where something has happened where that love was not reciprocated. It literally didn't happen. And it could be, I always talk about my latest book I just put up called Star-Crossed, right? And this is right there. Like maybe you couldn't come together. There was some tragedy, some obstacles, nothing would happen, right? And things like that. It's all a mindset. I went round and round with mine where they gave me years of excuses why they couldn't do it. It was all in their head. They could have any time, right? It's like, but I always know that it's an inner journey with these people too. And so this is your divine feminine that was like, hello, because it's the divine feminine card. I want to do love, and you didn't come through. You didn't give that to them in some type of way. And this is coming out in this lifetime because it's coming back up. It's popping back up. The same situations pop up through our lifetimes. And so whatever is happening with your divine feminine, it's coming from a past lifetime. And so you're triggering a lot of their core wounds where they're sitting there, they've been waiting for you. Oh my God, I see so many divine feminines been waiting for years. Like, hello, come on over, I'm right here. And divine masculine hasn't. They haven't shown up. They've blown them off. They haven't loved them back. And so this is a lack of reciprocation as well too that's coming up for many twin flames that I see across the experience. Just be mindful of that. You had wars. You may have been in service in this lifetime. Not everyone, but this is coming from past lifetimes of wars. I put a post up talking about that as well too. And this could have affected you as well too. Some of you guys carry past life PTSD and things like that. Just know that. And then we have the leaving or travel. And this is a past life reading too, so you were separated by distance as well too in past lifetimes. This could represent your situation in this lifetime if you're in different places. It could be different states, different areas, different countries, and expect to travel. Maybe you made plans to travel in this life or past lifetimes, and you know, I can see if you didn't come through in this lifetime, you didn't in the past lifetime either. If you did make that travel, you did in past lifetimes. I feel that way about my path. Like I want to go back out west again. And I just told myself, like the pioneers would go out west all the time. I'm ready to do that pilgrimage again. And it could be around doing different pilgrimages as well too. Sometimes we cross the oceans to come over, you know, from England to America, or from, you know, America, East Coast to West Coast and things like that. So we have travel that is coming up. Is travel coming up around your connection? Maybe there were travel plans that were made, and whether you did them or not, right? I see so many people that have twin flames in other countries and they travel to go see them all the time. And travel is a theme with a lot of twin flames where they're going to travel to see them on some type of level. All right, have a beautiful day. If you guys need me, just go ahead and book me on my website as well too. I got tons of healings on there, classes, all sorts of amazing tools for you on your ascension path and on your twin flame journey. Make sure you're booking a twin flame reading. If you need to chat with me on the phone, it's a 30-minute phone call. Will help you a ton. Do some healings too. It's going to help a ton with getting your energy right. Have a beautiful day.